We are live at YouTube, and as you know, how we have structured to deliver this podcast.
So are you asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't write it down, but it's about, God, it's about being spontaneous
Yeah.
or
Structured.
or structured. That's right.
I mean, you become Indian or German.
Or Irish. That's that's the spontaneous side right there, the
Yeah,
Irish.
spontaneous side. Irish is also
Yeah,
spontaneous side. It's the
yeah.
German is the perfect example of a structured movement.
Well, see, that's why I always say I'm perfect. I'm half Irish and half German.
Yeah. If you come to this spontaneity, it's a very like kind of in a spiritual realm with meditators and yoga practitioners, spontaneous is very commonly used word for unpredictable movements or unpredictable some no abrupt movements or insight, like you're doing a movement and suddenly a new movement arises
You can
in
open to new.
dance. Yeah, and then say, oh, it's spontaneous. No, it's spontaneous movements. This way, people use unpredictable but nice, no, like unexplainable movements coming out of the self or somebody. Like we are washing saucers, and suddenly the players playing and a sudden spontaneous movements, which is unstructured, unpredictable, and goes to success. We call
Yeah,
it
not
spontaneous movements. Means somehow we saw that my intelligence, my ego was absent, no? And things happened like this way. In a classical way, if we define creativity, spontaneity, movements, we use this word creation like Shiva and Shakti in combination to that word. And Shakti emanates with spontaneous movement, creative force. So the force which emanates from the center towards the periphery, a force coming from centers to periphery in expansion, creative mode, to create the world, to manifest the world. That movement, we call it spontaneous. No, that's spontaneous. From center is the Shiva, and from there, energy is emanating forward in order to create the creative force, spontaneous movement, and creating the world on her own consciousness, not separate, no, in your own consciousness, like a mirror, no, that live mirror.
right.
No, live mirror, she is manifesting the whole world in her own consciousness. So that movement we call it spontaneous movement and creative force in classical way. Non-classical way, we use this word for anything unpredictable, unexplainable, and very accurate, no? Accurately moving. In the absence of any I who is claiming that movement. I cannot claim this movement. I don't know how it happened. No, there is no I to claim that movement. And intelligence is just startled. Oh, no, it happened. In spite of me, it's there. So this way we call it spontaneous movement, unstructured, and another is just flowing, no? Like in this way, we see that all enlightened people are somehow unexplainable.
All the way.
Unexplainable. Their behaviors, many behaviors, you find there is no reason, there is no logic how they are functioning.
That's kind of like me. I, my kids get upset with me because I'm not a planner. I'm very
Mm,
spontaneous,
mm,
and my daughter-in-laws and stuff, they're very planned. And I said, well, if you plan every moment of your day, you aren't open to something exciting or new coming in. And then you're on a
mm,
treadmill because
mm,
you've planned so much. Not to say we don't need to plan, because we do, but you got to leave some space in there for the magic, I'll say.
yeah, magic is. So here is functioning out of consciousness. If you are planning, you are functioning out of your own ego and mind, structuring it,
Yes.
deciding what is right, what is wrong. And in a way, it's good. It's controlling the future.
Okay, say that again. I didn't get that.
Like, in a way, it's controlling the future.
You mean structure?
Yeah, in a structure, in a way, you are controlling it. You are
Yeah,
deciding it. Things will happen like this, and you are making it happen exactly the way you have planned. So you
yeah.
are controlling the future events,
Mhm.
planning in this and controlling the future events. Yes, in all this structured way, if everything is known to the mind, if you're moving to the known territory, you already know that this will happen, that will happen, the waiter will come, he will put fork like this, spoon like this, and everything is structured. Nothing can, anything not, it's wrong. So, with the perfect idea of right and wrong, life fully under control, it's that events happening in my life the way I want, the way I have decided, on time, towards the perfect movements, moving towards. So, this is Germany.
Well, you know, since I've been little, I kind of known what I wanted to do in my lifetime. And I never forced anything, but it just happened because in the back of my consciousness, or even conscious mind, I knew what I was here for. So all these things happened on that journey because it was part of my life path. So we need to plan, but we also need to enjoy the moment because it's all perfect no matter what, right?
In order to function in the world, you need plan.
Well, yeah, you can plan it in your mind. You don't have to put it on paper and be a regiment about it, don't you think? That's not how I do it.
And if you want to enjoy the self, the consciousness, then you allow it to flow. You don't control, but it needs a lot of courage and also maybe skill to flow. Like floating in the water, one person is swimming, another is floating. One person has destination, time limit to cross, to reach to a point, and a perfect swimmer. Another is just relaxing and let the flow take me in a relaxed way wherever, whenever, wherever I'm moving to. I'm enjoying this movement. So, two philosophies there. People are like you. I would like to flow. If I plan, I get headache.
Yeah, I mean, you put so many restrictions. That's funny because when I go down the river, I like to tube because I like to sit back on the tube and just flow with the river.
Yeah, just flow.
And people say, okay, let's go kayak. And I said, well, no. For one thing, they're hard to sit on. For another thing, it's a lot of work. I said, I don't need that kind of workout. I just
Yeah,
want to
and some
go.
people have fully structured swimming time. It's four to
Yes.
five. I go like this. I put there. They
Yeah.
take sauna. Then after I go and 100 meters of swimming and every day checking whether how much I am faster and slower and losing my then weight, checking your weight, how much the weight has lost.
I know.
Okay, and then in a very structured way, they are moving towards their goal.
See, I've never had a scale at my house. Never.
Mhm.
I'm, and I got to tell you, so my daughter got a cabin up at Clear Lake. And so I went up there, they got a boat and they bought this, they had this uh, tube, but it was like it had arms on it and two people could sit in it. And I went tubing. It was just a riot. We were jumping waves in this tube. But it was funny that my daughter-in-law's, well, with her husband's mother was with us. She goes, I'm not going in that. And I said, oh, it'll be fine. So it's interesting because I do yoga. Um, the next day my daughter was hurting from going tubing, and I felt great. I did have to go to the chiropractor this week a little bit, but I didn't have any pain because anyway, I don't know how that relates, but I was supposed to tell that story. But fun. It's all fun, spontaneous.
Yeah, movement. I have no structure in my life, no, not at all. Only I meet the time of my work, 8 o'clock
Right.
with you, then I'm fully sincere. Everything is nothing is done. Structure means postpone everything and do these things. No, this is the only
Right.
structure I have. To postpone other things and do what you think it's important in front of you, because work is so much. No, work. If you start
Well, it takes
working,
energy.
if you start working and properly working, then my God, I will, since morning till night, I will be working and working and planning and working and planning and working. Nowadays,
It's
even
robotic.
if you want to make one podcast very nicely, you have to really work, give time to that, to reach people. Like, no, so much work. Any small thing, just 1 hour of podcast, and if you really do a structured way, publishing it in all the platform, informing people, it will involve 23 hours for you to give response, and then you have to be fully structured.
Yeah, I
Miss
know, I
Heno,
know.
Miss Heno, I can postpone everything, one structure, and choose one work to do, which I think I feel I'm enjoying and it's very important and spontaneous. For me, this is very important work, what
Mhm.
I'm doing with you. No? Very important. With all other works, I found it very important. Well, other works also. So all my commitment, I meet on time with work. No, the content could be spontaneous, explanation could be spontaneous, but a structure is there.
Right.
A structure is there, that in the beginning, okay, namaste, then the topic coming, explaining the topic, then people interacting, question, answer, then we all sit in meditation. There is a structure, which is normally you can decipher, no? Like this is the way. But I really don't know how things will flow. Sometimes no meditation, very small. Sometimes big meditation, 20 minutes, and explanation is very short. Sometimes just question and answers. So, and topic only I know when people ask for link, then topic sparks. When you ask, where is the link? So what is the topic?
Yeah.
And then the
And when do
moment
you
I
send it to
respond
me?
to you,
The night before. When do you
the
send it to
before.
me? The night.
Yeah. So let's ask you, as the moment I come to write what to ask you, a topic automatically comes out. Why not this? So let's confirm. And you confirm all the time. Yeah, yeah, nice. Let it be. I like it. And this is how it goes. That's how the Hindi program also, no? Same way. Now Wednesday, so Thursday, Saturday. So people will ask link, where is the link? On now the SMS will come, WhatsApp either now or tomorrow. Where is the link? When I go to create the link, then idea comes, oh, This is should be the topic of the subject that time. So this is my structure of functioning. In a way, you can say spontaneous, not knowing what you are going to speak, not just the topic is there, a little bit direction on intelligence level. Oh, it should take this direction. Talk should go in this direction without any detail. But direction is clear
Yeah.
on a level of intelligence. Is a idea is there. Oh, the talk should go this way. No,
Yes.
some ideas. Even it doesn't go, it's okay. Sometimes people jump in, they put their own questions, and whatever you have planned, nothing you speak. You start speaking completely different way, no? Like responding to people. And so, oh, this topic, next time. Next time I will cover this topic. We forget about it.
They spirals.
And when it comes to lifestyle like this, I when I see money, I see flowing more with a structured way, less in a spontaneous way. Attracting money from the environment. What do you think? You should, it flows more
Perhaps,
when you are structured, or it flows more when you are spontaneous. So look, the countries which are fully structured way of conditioning and functioning and planning, they are rich.
yeah, we won't get into that. I won't even
You see,
go there. Um,
now,
uh,
people who are following the structured way of lifestyle, they are rich.
well,
Happy, not happy,
it's
blissful, not
whatever you
blissful,
focus on,
blissful,
don't you
not
think?
blissful. This is
It's
a
whatever you
thinking
focus
point
on,
in my mind, no? That
right?
spontaneous people I found, they're happy, they're blissful, but they are having less money.
Well, it
Or they
depends.
have sharing attitude, so they cannot keep the money. They keep on sharing it with people. I mean, they are having a non-hoarding attitude. The people who are spontaneous, they are more
Yeah.
courageous, they are more trusting. Okay, I will meet the moment, I will live the moment. And people who are very structured, maybe they are not happy. Yeah, difficult to find a happy German face on dinner table. No.
Well, yeah, that's it. When you're talking about it, I'm sitting here contemplating this. Um, with the internet now,
Hmm.
you can do one thing and money keeps coming in. So it's not like you even have to work it anymore.
Yeah,
And
but even
so,
money means structure.
well, but I look at it this way: when the way my life has transitioned, what I've focused on, like I focus raising my kids, I focus getting my son through college, I focus. And now I'm focusing on money because I want to help more people. And I want to
Mhm.
have what I want to have because before I did what my responsibility was, as well as my artistic flares, I did what I loved also. I combined them both. And I think that's the most important part is not to say, I'll give my dad, for example. When we were young, I mean, this is young. My dad was a farmer and we'd want to go to the fair and he wouldn't spend the money. Well, the thing is that he wanted to be a millionaire. So, I mean, we grew our own foods, we had our own cows, all that, pigs, all that stuff. And then inevitably during the 80s, the farming went under. Anyway, him being a millionaire, he lost, but he also lost all those years of having fun with his kids and taking them places and doing stuff because he was so worried about becoming a millionaire. And I think that influenced me on, I'm spontaneous, but I'm also realistic. There's a difference. I have a basic plan in the back of my mind since I've been very young. And I've actually done what I've wanted to do plus more. And my kids would say, Mom, you don't stick to one thing very long. And I said, well, I came here to learn too. And I get bored sticking to the one thing all the time. So, structure, like you said, and then he was devastated losing what he went through. And I really observed that we have to live every moment and enjoy every moment
Look,
instead of looking to the future.
yeah, like our podcast, this is fully spontaneous,
Oh, yeah.
non-structured. In all 49 episodes are non-structured. But people I see in YouTube, people like to watch the millions views are there on this, which is a structured way. They are giving from information in a structured way, and more people liking it. Like, so structure for others easy to follow,
Right.
spontaneity not easy to follow. Like if someone wants to learn from me, let's say, or you, the person will learn just to be spontaneous. He will not find any structure to follow to improve himself or herself, or learning will be only one learning: be spontaneous. In our
Well, the thing is, like, you have a website and you can record videos for education and they can buy them, or podcasts. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I was
I'm like
thinking,
this.
like 49 episodes, I was thinking that it's a enormous, valuable content that we are
Yeah.
having. Valuable content, enormous insight on almost every topic we are going to touch. 49 and 950. Oh, only 3 episodes left. 52. We decided
Uh-oh.
52. So 3 episodes left. And we tried to touch spontaneously, we touched almost all parts of life: child educations, gerontology, uh, I mean, education, science, meditation, healing, spouse relationship, child parent relationship, all the way soul, God, religion, no, politics. We almost touch all the part, but very spontaneously, without making any asking for AI to give me a structure. One time I tried, no, ask AI. I have a podcast, and the AI goes completely different way, which is not my way of thinking at all. The structure it was providing to do a podcast, I said, no, no, I cannot follow this. This is structured this way. So, and I was thinking that if I present the same video in a structured way, edit it, the same spontaneity which has come out, you represent this spontaneity in a structured way.
Right.
The
I get it.
representation in the objective art, no? Spontaneity, you will say yes, subjective art, no? I was spontaneous, I painted the wall.
Yeah.
Subjective way. But when it
Mhm.
comes to objective way, then whether other people, like in a scenario of universal outlook, like everybody looking at Picasso painting, I don't know when he was alive, people like him or not, but now they like him.
Right, right, right. Well,
Vincent van Gogh, when he was painting, spontaneously bringing new style, and anybody spontaneous will bring new style, completely new style of expression. That's the
mhm.
that's the like niche we recognize. Oh, spontaneous, like bringing completely new style, not an act, and a style of act, no? In a style. Like we are talking a lot, but our style. The style of talking is spontaneously unique. So the representation of spontaneity, if it is structured way, spontaneity opens the and channels something beyond our own capable intelligence.
Yes.
And then we say, no, I cannot claim this knowledge. I cannot claim this movement. This is God. This is consciousness. This is beyond my intelligence. So that's where we decipher, oh, there is a power beyond me. And we say this power is a creative force.
But aren't we really connecting at a greater place of what we already are?
We are always connected, but it's the perception of us, how we are perceiving the act and the operating center. We are always connected, whether you operate even from your egoistic center
Yeah, but
and
I mean,
act. But
so
the
it's whether,
connection, energy is supplied from the consciousness itself.
yeah,
Just the operation label, it becomes some people operating from the ego to structure the ego. They're doing the act to structure their ego, shape their ego. Some people are acting to train their mind, to develop skills, to structure their mind to pattern of thinking. These spontaneous people don't care. They act out of consciousness and they are not structuring anything. But a structure is emanating because under the law, they are functioning under the law of consciousness, which is more deeper law and governing all. So even in their spontaneous movement, you can start to see a structure. And that structure is spontaneously planned. If you give this structure to someone can follow, then it starts to become objective.
so how, wait a second. Now, how does feelings go in there? Because, like, when I go to do my art and music, sometimes I get there and I said, I can't do the music and art today. I don't feel it.
Mm.
Because our feelings affect structure too.
Mm.
There's more to it than just structure and spontaneity.
Look, to be spontaneous, you should be exuberant with energy. You cannot act spontaneous in a boring, no, spontaneous acts are full with bubbling with energy.
Yes,
Remember,
yes, yes.
it is the energy of consciousness. It's the maximum energy. You are bubbling with energy, overflowing with energy. That's the first thing we recognize. That's why we like a spontaneous act. Why we not structure? Because when we structure, ego comes and we don't like it because it needs
Yeah.
feedback to the ego, always objective. So we don't like it. There is not so much
Well,
energy. And when we are non-structured, suddenly we are overflowing with energy because we are
well,
not, we are directly channeling the consciousness and we are full with, bubbling with energy.
but
That's the
see,
difference.
the structure actually is a fear of not keeping it the way it's supposed to be. So there's fear
Oh,
in a structure.
yeah. There's already a supposition. That's what I say. In structure, there is already a supposition. If there is already a supposition, there is no way to explore. The exploration area is very limited, and
Yes.
there is no scope of change. And if you want to change something, you need to really bring a lot of energy to change it. But in spontaneous, there is always area of exploration and unlimited, unconditional readiness to change.
Grow.
Grow,
You
yeah,
could put
that's,
change and grow kind of go hand in hand
yeah, am I
because,
changing in the right way, then growing, yeah.
yeah, well, change is good, whether it's good or bad, isn't it? Because you learn from it. So I'm just bouncing here.
Let's come to the lifestyle now, no? We have three words to talk about. Structured,
Yeah.
spontaneous movements, no? They are movements. When it comes to lifestyle is a more permanent thing.
Say that again.
Lifestyle. Adopting to a lifestyle is more permanent thing.
It's more what?
Permanent. Permanent.
Permanent.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And it should be based on the lifestyle adaptation. Again, it can be adopted by fashion. It can adopted by social pressure. It can be adopted under the hypnotism of advertisement. It can be a trick of somebody else putting this idea in your mind that is good for you lifestyle. And lifestyle out of intelligence, which is denying all this pressure over you and choosing by
Yes.
its own intelligence what is the real lifestyle should be.
That's exactly. Remember, I texted you that this morning or messaged you that my
Mm.
epiphany last night. I, I, me, and we. And when we can combine all of that into getting to the we know exactly what to do in every situation. Does that make sense?
Mm. Yeah.
Well,
Any spontaneous act is not I and me. It's always, you can say, we,
yeah, absolutely.
because it's not egocentric.
Right.
There's spontaneous movement is not egocentric. So you cannot say I and you cannot say me. You can say we. Like you see the support.
Mhm.
And as an individual, you think, oh, I have self me, I have made myself. No, I. Not I. I proved
Heard a
myself.
lot of
I made
that.
a change. I made a difference. I. But if you see this, all I is a structured way, you are proving yourself. But if it comes to spontaneous movement, anywhere you have emanated, you will see no, this movement is not I. It's being supported by the whole phenomena behind me.
So, and I think when you're more spontaneous, you're more intuitive. Because if you're structured, you're focused on the structure. When you're spontaneous, you're
Structure
open.
means mind pattern. Structure means artificial intelligence.
Yeah. So,
A
so like it's,
pattern decided already,
yeah,
pre-decided pattern. It's artificial intelligence. Structure is artificial intelligence. There is no intelligence. Intelligence has already given a structure and your mind is following it.
yeah, yeah. And it's, you're not open for your intuition. You're not open for things to come through because you're controlling your thoughts. You know what I mean? I have to do
Mm.
this. I have, and there was a point in my life when I was really busy with kids and working and stuff that I look back now and I was pretty robotic. I had responsibilities I had to take care
You are half German. You must be half robot.
of. I like my Irish side though. I like my hair blowing in the wind with the roof down on the car and the radio blaring. That's me. And so I'll be dancing in the car and I'll be driving by people and they'll honk the horn like, what is the matter with you? And I thought, have fun. If you got to drive the car, you might as well enjoy it, you know?
Yeah, and park the car when you are passing by this way, another passing this way. You both stop the car and keep on gossiping and talking, and people, oh, what? But this is like we
That's we. Yeah.
on the road, both side parking the car and talking about it, and other people honking on.
Yeah. 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 And they're all so sad and they're all, I look at their faces and they look so drawn. And I just thought, oh man, turn on some good music and start singing like you always sing, because that changes the vibration too.
Mm.
Does that affect you when you start singing? Because I know how sensitive you are.
I always sing. Mostly, I'm singing a lot of time singing.
What does that do for you?
It has changed my mood of the kind of song you sing, the kind of imagery you go into that, and it changes your mood. First of all, it makes me ecstatic because I sing my own way.
Yeah, you have a unique way.
I do try to follow, but even my following is a unique way I can follow any singer.
Well, I
And
can't
it's
say
not
anything.
objective, and it's not objective art. It's my subjective way of singing. So I don't care
And you
objectively
have
if somebody
fun.
likes.
It
And
feels
I am
good.
big fun changing my mode and training my mind also, like singing, doing something
Controlling
else.
your thoughts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like singing at the same time, watering plant, no, giving plant at the same time, skating. So skating wheels on, singing, and giving water. You need to be the height of awareness, otherwise you break your legs.
to that. So I got to tell you a story real quick. Something I observed. So I have this out on my patio. I go out and sit out there, and there's this gigantic tree, and I can't think of the name of it, but I did look it up. And I would talk to this tree because it's just so magnificent and so big that I just say, "You are so beautiful," and blah, blah, blah. And so I go out to my other patio, and that's where I put my feet on the ground in the morning. And all of a sudden, this little sprout came up by the in the ground by my feet. And I thought, what is that? And it just started growing so fast. And I looked at it and I said, oh my God, that's a tree. And you got to realize this is all dirt. There's nothing growing there. And all of a sudden, this tree starts growing. So I look up the spiritual meaning behind the tree after I found out what it was. And it was exactly what I am going through in my life right now. So I realized that tree was an analogy of me and what's happening in my life. And it's growing. And every day I go out and I kind of touch it and talk to it. So the tree put a seed right where I sit. I mean, if we would observe nature, nature communicates with us all the time. It just, it's awesome. So I'm watching the street. And in 2 weeks, it's this big already. I mean, of course, we've had a lot of rain, but it's amazing. I just I just had to tell
Plant
that
for
story.
me, plant, actually, I learned the form and movement from plants.
Yeah,
I was a graphic designer as my profession in the young
yeah.
age when I was designing and I learning. So I spending a lot of time observing nature. So in the designing, you have to find color combinations, which color will go with whom, how and then I started observing nature, and I didn't know how to plan and structure the colors. No, like you play in the designing, you play with different colors, and it
Right.
should be in harmony. The colors should be in harmony. So I started to watch the flowers, and there is a design of colors, no, different colors and shades, and the way they merge, no, with the white or the black and the other background, and any small dots which other colors, so you can easily see the color combinations
Mm-hmm.
in
They're
flowers.
beautiful.
Yeah. So that's how I started to observe, like observe one flower, color combinations, yellow, orange, white, like the jasmine flower. How from the center the and the other petals, how the color is structured. And you can say it's structured because there is a sub-similarity patterns you can find and recognize. If you can recognize something, means that means it's a structure.
Right.
No, you are recognizing a
Oh,
structure. That's why you go. So this flower means there is a structure. So I took that structure and applied directly on my designing.
that was pretty
The color,
smart,
the
actually.
color combination. So I didn't have to learn this designing from anyone, just directly from the nature itself. So each flower I found, and there is hundreds of flowers.
Yes,
And
yes.
so there was, to me, opened up the variety of color combination, and each one unique in its own way. So we take a photograph from the flowers, And then for the color picker, we see the how much the combination in the computer language, red, green, and blue, and that way, how much the color combination going. And through that, we started to calibrate the natural colors and the printed colors,
That's
no?
cool.
And
That's
learning
really cool.
calibration, how to bring natural colors on the printed colors. This is how I evolved in designing and the sense of color. Others also in movements, forms. No, other designing is also seeing the form. So in Tantra, you see the form, no, like just someone is dancing, the structure of the body, the form, no, the Tai Chi. What is this? Just the form. Mudras. No, I learned mudras from plants, only from plants. The different mudras and their meanings from the plants. So if you watch the plant, the same you are saying, when they are very new, like the bud will come, like a plant is going to do, and a sprout will so through the plant, and then it will start to have a curve, like a branch, tree there, and another creeper is spiraling. Or the way the plant's growing, they will maintain a curve. And if you start watching or the flowers, so if you first you see the colors and then you start to see the form, the movement,
Mhm.
the way they are growing and finding their way. So I started to take that curve. First in designing was like playing with a square, triangle, like perfect structured shape. And then non-structured shape, like only curves,
Oh, yeah.
just going through curves. So I found in nature amazing, it's growing in curves and maintaining a form. And
And it
then I
feels better.
learned, yeah, and then this is all positive space. We call it
Mhm.
positive space because you can say, oh, this is the color, this is the thing. And we say negative space. The form, not positive. The form should give you a feeling of negative space. That space it is not covering. Like in your room, I see
Yeah.
your background. So I see a pattern of positive things, no? Frame, another frame. There is a pot, and this plant has a curve. And between these two, three objects, there is a negative space, which nothing is there.
Mhm.
So if negative space will have a beautiful form, you will
Mhm.
have an amazing design. Not that positively what you are looking is beautiful, but that
Right.
space which is not used, if that is in symmetry.
So, and would you say in some what?
Symmetry.
Yeah.
Symmetry.
Yeah.
Like you see, you have a two pictures behind you on the wall. One is red with Buddha like, little bit black and orange, like kind of a sunrise, sunset color. Another you have here in black and white, which is also very nicely framed in biggest frame of black, same proportion in white, and then the picture. And then you have a plant. And then you have a white space here. And the plant is creating a curve to the left side, which is symmetrical, and giving a lot of space to this. And now you can play with. If the
Yeah.
curve of the plant you are putting has a wide angle
Mhm.
and less conical, while Buddha's is more conical, you are giving a suggestion, but sharp suggestion. So sharp that you can recognize, oh, it's a Buddha, because there is a head. No, the symbol is there. And if you can bring their plant, one is German, this structured frame, another is Irish, yeah, this picture and the choosing. In the middle, you can play with negative space, no? And This is also another way you can play. It's the same, the light patterns. So we see more negative space, not that positively what you are putting. Where you are not putting anything, is it in symmetry? So if you start playing, looking this way, suddenly your mind will blast and you will start to channel all spontaneous knowledge.
Okay, explain what you're saying right now so people can
Like
understand.
people, if we see, pay attention to positive space and see the shape.
Right. Should we end it there? Or are you going to come back on?